In this lesson, we'll explore how the introduction of paper money and fiat currency revolutionized monetary systems around the world, while also introducing new challenges. Our journey into the history of money takes us to ancient China during the Tang Dynasty, a period marked by vibrant trade and economic growth. At the time, coins made of copper or other metals were the primary currency. However, as commerce expanded, merchants faced a significant challenge. Transporting large amounts of heavy coins over long distances was both cumbersome and risky due to the threat of theft. To address this issue, innovative merchants devised a solution. They began using promissory notes as a substitute for physical coins. These notes were essentially receipts that represented a claim to a specific amount of coinage stored elsewhere, often in a trusted depository. This practice allowed merchants to conduct large-scale transactions without the burden of carrying metal currency. As this system gained popularity, it caught the attention of the government. By the Song Dynasty, the Chinese government took the next step, formalizing the use of these promissory notes and issuing the world's first official paper currency known as jiaozi, initially introduced in the Sichuan region. The jiaozi addressed a growing shortage of copper coins and streamlined trade across the empire. The jiaozi had a significant impact. It revolutionized the way people conducted business, laying the foundation for modern banking systems. Several hundred years later, before the widespread adoption of fiat money, many countries operated under a monetary system known as the gold standard. Under this system, the value of a country's currency was directly tied to a fixed quantity of gold. Governments guaranteed that their currency could be exchanged for a specific amount of gold on demand, effectively turning paper money into a claim for a tangible, universally valued asset. The gold standard emerged as a response to the need for a stable and predictable monetary framework. It offered a way to anchor the value of currencies and facilitate trust in financial transactions. Britain was the first nation to officially adopt the gold standard in 1821. The move aimed to stabilize the British economy, control inflation, and foster international trade by ensuring that its currency, the pound sterling, maintained a consistent and reliable value. The adoption of the gold standard spread rapidly during the 19th century, a time of industrial expansion and increased globalization. Major economies, including the United States, Germany, and Japan, embraced the system. It provided a shared basis for international trade and investment by eliminating uncertainties related to fluctuating currency values. The ability to convert paper currency into gold gave people and businesses confidence in the stability of their money, encouraging economic growth. While the gold standard provided stability, its limited money supply couldn't support economic growth, leading to deflation and restricting governments' ability to respond to crises. During World War I, many nations suspended the system to finance war efforts, causing inflation and exposing its rigidity. In 1933, during the Great Depression, President Franklin D. Roosevelt issued Executive Order 6102, requiring Americans to turn in most of their gold in exchange for paper money. This move aimed to increase the money supply and give the government more flexibility to tackle the economic crisis. It was a pivotal step away from gold-backed currency, setting the stage for today's fiat money system. In 1944, near the end of World War II, representatives from 44 Allied nations met in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, to create a new international monetary system, the so-called Bretton Woods system. Influenced by economists like John Maynard Keynes, the Bretton Woods system aimed to rebuild war-torn economies and ensure global financial stability. The system pegged national currencies to the U.S. dollar, which was convertible to gold at $35 per ounce, making the dollar the central reserve currency. The Bretton Woods system faced significant challenges. As the world's reserve currency, the U.S. dollar was under immense pressure to supply enough currency for global trade, leading to deficits. Foreign dollar holdings began to exceed U.S. gold reserves. French President Charles de Gaulle criticized the system, arguing that it gave the U.S. an unfair advantage. In 1965, he announced that France would convert its dollar reserves into gold, even sending a naval ship to the U.S. to collect it. Other countries followed suit, increasing demands on U.S. gold reserves. In 1971, President Richard Nixon responded by suspending the dollar's convertibility into gold, effectively ending the Bretton Woods system. The dollar became a fully fiat currency, backed only by trust in the U.S. government. Fiat money is a type of currency that lacks intrinsic value. It is not tied to or backed by a physical commodity such as gold or silver. Unlike commodity money, which derives value from the material it is made of, fiat money's value comes solely from the authority of the government that issues it. By decree, governments declare fiat currency as legal tender, meaning it must be accepted for all debts, public and private. The term fiat is derived from the Latin word fiat, meaning let it be done, or it shall be, signifying that the currency's value exists by government order. Fiat money faces several challenges that can threaten its stability. One major risk is over-issuing currency, which can lead to hyperinflation. This occurs when too much money is printed without a corresponding increase in goods and services, causing prices to spiral out of control. For example, in the 1920s, Weimar Republic, Germany printed excessive money to pay war reparations, leading to extreme inflation where basic goods cost billions of marks and the currency became worthless. Additionally, advances in technology have made counterfeiting easier, threatening trust in the authenticity of money. Governments combat this with sophisticated security features like watermarks, holograms, and microthreads on banknotes to deter counterfeiters. While fiat money allows flexibility for economic management, these challenges highlight the importance of careful monetary policy, strong institutions, and public trust to maintain its value and stability. After the collapse of the Bretton Woods system, the petrodollar system emerged in the 1970s as a key mechanism to sustain the U.S. dollar's global dominance. Following negotiations between the United States and Saudi Arabia, a key arrangement was established. Global oil sales would be conducted exclusively in U.S. dollars. This system standardized global oil transactions in dollars, reinforcing the dollar's role as the world's reserve currency. Oil exporting nations, meanwhile, accumulated significant reserves of U.S. assets, further strengthening the global dominance of the dollar. After nearly 5 decades, on June 9, 2024, Saudi Arabia ended its exclusive reliance on the dollar for oil sales, allowing transactions in other currencies, such as the Chinese yuan, which China is striving to position as the new world reserve currency. This decision marks a significant shift in global economic dynamics, reflecting a move weakening the dollar's long-held dominance. The evolution of money from tangible assets like gold to intangible fiat currencies illustrates humanity's ongoing quest for efficient trade, economic stability, and equitable wealth distribution. Each monetary system addressed the limitations of its predecessor, but also introduced new complexities. Understanding these systems, their innovations, advantages, and failures, provides valuable insights into today's financial world. It highlights the critical importance of adaptability, trust, and effective governance in maintaining stable monetary systems. As we navigate the future of finance, including the rise of digital currencies, these lessons from history will be indispensable.